Alright, welcome back everyone to another TechZone tutorial. In this video I shall bring the complete guide to dual booting Windows XP on your Windows 7 netbook. Things you will need: a 1GB USB. In this case I shall use an Immersion 8GB USB. The netbook, of course. In this case I shall use a Samsung N150. You'll also need 10GB of hard drive space. Note, here's an important fact. Make sure that there are Windows XP compatible drivers for your netbook, otherwise it's just going to be hopeless. If you want to know if the netbook is compatible with Windows XP as well, check over to the official website and check. In this case, they have Windows XP drivers available for my netbook. A backed up copy of Windows XP, and finally a program called WinSetup from USB in order to copy the Windows XP files into your USB. Step 1. Make a backup of your CD. Make sure that you have a copy of Windows XP. Like you can see, I have Windows XP Professional Service Pack 3. You're going to copy all of the files from the ISO and you're going to store it in a folder. So basically your Windows setup is going to be inside a folder. Step 2. Partitioning. Partitioning your hard disk is also important. What do you expect? Where are you going to install Windows XP? In order to do that, right click on my computer and click on Manage. The computer management should load up any minute. When the computer management loads up, on the storage you're going to click on Disk Management. And from here you're going to find your hard drive from here. In case this is local disk C, and I have 217 gigabytes. Now you're going to right click it and we're going to shrink volume. Once you finish this dialog box should open up. It's just asking you how much you want to separate from your currently used hard drive, which is a local disk C, and create a separate new hard drive from it. So you can see it already says 131,680 megabytes, which is about 129 GB. So that's just separating half of your hard drive. Now I don't want to do that. I want to separate 50 gigabytes. But I'm not just going to type in 50,000, which is just going to say 49 point something. I want it to be exactly 50. So how are you going to do that? Think of it like this. 1024 megabytes is 1 gigabyte. So you just go to the calculator if you're smart enough, and then you're going to go type in 1024 into 50, 51,200, and you're going to type in here 51,200. And you're going to click on shrink. What it should do now is that this should remove 50 gigabytes and create a new unallocated space where you can create a new hard drive from it so that you can install Windows XP in it. Once it separates, you're going to get 50 gigabytes of unallocated space. Now we're just going to leave it like that. We don't have to format it right now. We can just format it in the Windows XP setup. Step 3. Copy the Windows setup to your USB. Now that your USB is plugged in, we're going to open up WinSetup from USB. We're going to click on Run. Once this loads up, you will get something like this. Now it says using NTFS improves a lot performance. I'll explain that in a bit. So you're going to get this window, and first it's going to ask Windows 2000 XP or 2003 source. That's where your files are. You're going to click on Browse, and it's going to ask where the folder is. So I have it in my desktop over here. And you're just going to basically select it. Make sure you select the folder which has the folder i386 which is in it. So select that folder, not i386, the folder where all the Windows setup is, which is right there. And then USB disk selection, which you can see I've already selected it. Now you will need to format your USB disk. So in order to do that, there's this button here called RM Prep USB. So let's click that. And file system, NTFS. Now why NTFS instead of FAT32? NTFS has a lot more performance, and well, what I mean is that Windows setup is a lot faster than FAT32. If you were to format the USB and load the Windows setup from it in FAT32 format, it's going to take about, well, it took me about 4 hours to load up the Windows setup. Whereas NTFS, it takes about less than a minute. so that's why you're gonna put it as NTFS. Very important. And format options, you're gonna select on quick format. Click on start and click yes. And it should start formatting. It should finish in a bit. Okay, and once this is done, you should get a message saying some information about your USB drive. Click OK and click close. So let's continue from here. Leave everything as it is now that you have already selected the Windows XP destination. The USB disk has also been selected. And once you're ready to go, you're going to click on go. And now what it's going to do is going to start the process of copying the files to your USB and also add a bootloader to your USB. So this process should take about 14 minutes. Yes, it takes that long to copy the file. So once this is done, I'll get back. Alright, so after about 20 minutes later, it's almost done. You can see the total amount of files is almost matched up, which means there are a few files left to go, and now it's finished. So now it's just finalizing this, and then we shall continue. One final important note though, make sure you download the drivers for your Windows XP partition now, because when you install Windows XP, you will need anyway the Wi-Fi drivers or LAN drivers in order to use the internet. So make sure you download all the Windows XP drivers now, okay? And when you do that, now you can see it's already done. It says keep the USB plugged in and all that. Let me just show you what I mean, okay? So once you're done with this, let's close this. And now you're finished with step 3 and copying all the files to USB. So now you're ready to install Windows XP. So again, like I said earlier, download the Windows XP drivers now in order to use the internet Windows XP, and there are some further files you need to download for the upcoming steps. Step 4, booting the Windows setup. So now at this point you will need to boot from your USB. So what I'm going to do now is basically, let me just emergency shut down this, just to make life easier. Now you're going to turn it on, and you're going to enter the boot menu. I don't know why my camera's shaking. You may need to press F2 or something to enter the boot menu, okay? So it's just going to stay like that. And now you're going to head over to the boot section, boot device priority. And over here you see Immersion Nano Pro, which is my USB. You're going to put that to first, so that it boots from the USB first. So do it like that. So my USB comes first and my hard drive comes second. So exit this. And now this is just gonna boot up as normal. And just wait a bit. And now this comes up. You're gonna press that, and the first part of Windows XP Professional Setup. It's just gonna inspect like normal. And there you go, there's the Windows XP setup, but we're not exactly finished right now. So okay, so now at this point you're gonna press enter. And yada yada yada. Just accept it. And then from here you're gonna select on your unpartitioned space, which is 51,200 megabytes, which is 50 gigabytes. So you're gonna press that. Format the partition using NTFS file system quick, okay? And you're just gonna let this partition, which is gonna be over in a bit. You can see it's already 20%. And now what it's gonna do is that it's gonna copy the files to the hard drive, the Windows setup files to the hard drive. Now, here's the thing, if you had formatted your USB to FAT32 and done this, this would take 4 hours. Trust me, this will take 4 hours if you formatted your USB to FAT32. Now that it's in NTFS, it's gonna copy it at least more fast. It takes about, I don't know, 5 minutes per percent. Oh yeah, by the way, my camera's shaking because of this anti-shake thing, which reduces shake, but actually if you notice it's actually producing even more shake. That's the awkward thing. So yeah, okay, so just after about 2 minutes this thing is already done. Easy as that. That's why I format to NTFS and I did not press anything. So now you should just inspect this. Initialize the Windows setup. Now reboot your computer. At this point, you're gonna change it back to the hard drive. So let's press that, boot, and let's put this on first. Now we have a bigger problem next up. So where's Windows 7? It's gone. No, it's not gone. It's just erased, and you can see. Okay, here's the thing I have to explain right now. You saw 3 Windows XP entries, right? Well, because I have installed Windows XP 3 times on this netbook, so that's why it's showing 3 entries. But usually the last one is the real Windows XP one, but it doesn't show Windows 7. Now we're gonna fix that later on. Okay, so don't worry about this. Step 5: installing Windows XP. Now, like I told you earlier, nothing to worry about. So let's just boot again. There we go there. There we go, there's your Windows XP boot. That the Windows XP setup has loaded up, and now you can see it's peacefully installing. Okay, so you can see it says about 39 minutes for installation, but actually it's not going to be 39 minutes, it's going to be about 15 minutes, let's say. So while it's installing, you will get this information of the brand new features Windows XP has to offer, and like new look and internet and multimedia and all that. So just go through it to have a piece of history, and then once this is done, I'll show you what to do. By the way, you're gonna go through some information filling, such as you'll need to fill up the date, you will need to enter the serial key, you will need to enter some information, your password, everything. So you will need to basically type some of your information in here during the installation. So keep in mind of that, and also you can check out the bar to see what is installed right now. So just making a point. Okay, so now we just finished, and it's just restarting right now. So like I said, boot from there again. Don't worry, we'll get back the Windows 7 bootloader to add the 2 entries, Windows 7 and Windows XP. Don't worry about it, we'll fix that. Sorry about that, the vacuum cleaner is, you know, making a lot of noise, so had to close the door. But just ignore that. And even my wireless mouse is working already. So that's a good thing. So it should say to improve the appearance and blah blah blah. Just click OK. It should just increase the resolution. Just click OK on that. And any minute now it should load up the welcome screen. And then we have a couple of more steps to do. So you still need your USB anyway. So there's your welcome thing. And setup. Click next. Not now. Anyways, I'm going to remove Windows XP later because I want to install Ubuntu and just try it out. So next. I've already done this before anyway, so finish. Should load up the start menu as usual. There we go. So now you have successfully installed Windows XP. All you have to do now at this stage is install the drivers and everything you want. And then what you're going to do is this step. Step 6. Restore the Windows 7 bootloader. So now at this point, you need to restore the Windows 7 bootloader. In order to do that, you will need to download the Windows 7 recovery disk from the link in the description provided by EasyBCD. It's not illegal, don't worry. It's just basically the Windows 7 setup without anything in it. The main purpose is to just recover any startup options or anything like that. So Windows is not actually in it. It's about 100 MB only, so just download it. And you can see right here, add the files into a folder right here. And again, load up Win Setup from USB. We're going to use the USB again to boot that up as well. Win Setup from USB. And we're just going to leave Windows 2000 XP source because we're already done. And instead on format USB disk, we're going to format this again to NTFS. So let's just format it. Okay, once this is done, You're gonna click on OK, close. And instead you may go under, you may also add, there is the Windows 7 Vista 7 Setup Recovery ISO. You're gonna enable the checkbox and browse for that folder. So it's in the desktop, so just click that folder, which has everything in it. And USB disk selection, and just leave everything else and click go. It should do the same thing as like you did for the Windows XP thing, except it should take a much shorter time since they're less fast to copy. And once it's done, I'll show you the next step. Okay, once it should finish, you can click on agree, done. And now step 7, recovering the bootloader. So all you need to do now is restart the computer like normal, and you're gonna boot from the USB again. I'm gonna boot. I'm gonna set the USB first again. Then this should come up. Start Windows Vista Setup Recovery. Just click OK. Windows is loading files. Now it's gonna stop in the middle of the way. I know, every time I go to Windows XP it restarts and go, and when I go back to Windows 7 it restarts and I have to do it again, so it's gonna happen again anyway. So there you go. So I have to just boot it up again, and you know, just as normal, so don't worry about that. Just do it again. I mentioned this earlier about the Windows XP. Now you see the cursor. That's funny. The mouse is not working. I'll just use this time. The battery. Okay. So now it's gonna ask which keyboard. Click next. And it's just gonna search for Windows installations, but just ignore this when it's done. It's gonna give a message that something is wrong with your Windows 7 drive. It will fix it for you, but don't restart the computer because there's some command line functions we have to do right now. Don't worry, it's easy. So now you may be thinking, how come I can upload videos? Oh, there you go. Windows found problems with your computer started out problems. Don't restart. No. You're gonna select on your Windows 7 hard drive here. You're gonna click next. Command prompt. And over here in command prompt, you're gonna type bootrec for a minute. And you're gonna get all the options here. Fix MBR, that's to fix the master boot record. You're gonna type bootrec fix MBR. Whoops. The operation completed successfully. Next up, fix boot. So bootrec /fix boot. Operation completed successfully. And then bootrec rebuild BSD. You should finish by now, but I'm just going to do this. Rebuild BCD. This may take a while, means not even a minute, so don't worry about it. It should finish in a few seconds. There we go. Don't worry about this. And bootrec /scanos. And you're done. Oh, my mouse is working. Okay, once you're done, you're gonna restart the computer. Go into the BIOS again. There's a lot to do. How did my hard drive get over there? Okay, anyways, go back to your regular hard drive. And then what you should notice, there we go. You have Windows 7 and Windows XP, all there. But here's the thing, when you do this, Windows XP doesn't show up for you and Windows 7 should load instead. So we have to fix that. Now unfortunately for me, I already fixed it with this program called EasyBCD. By the way, now you will need to get a program called EasyBCD, which is in the description. You can check down there. You're gonna download that. And by the way, now for me it's already fixed because I already did this earlier, but for you guys it has not done yet. It's not fixed yet because it will just automatically boot out to Windows 7 and you don't get the Windows XP option. So we had to fix that right now. So let me just get to the final step and we shall continue. Step 8, add Windows XP to the bootloader. So now, like I said, you have to download a program called EasyBCD. You can see up there in the title, EasyBCD. Link will be in the description. And you can see I removed Windows XP from the bootloader just to show you guys how to add it. So this is the bootloader. That is Windows 7 and it's linked to drive C. And to add Windows XP to the bootloader, go to Edit Boot menu. You can see when Microsoft Windows 7 is there. And you're gonna click on Add New Entry. And under Type, you're gonna select Windows NT 2K XP or 2K3. Now it says drive automatically configured, but don't automatically detect the drive because you'll never know what it'll do. So if you don't know which drive is Windows XP in, it's drive D for me. You can see here 50 gigabytes. So it is drive D. And name will be called Windows XP just to show you what it is. It has been added or anything like that. And you're going to click on Add Entry. It should say there Windows XP added to the boot menu. So you can see now the boot menu should have Windows 7 and Windows XP. So I've set Windows 7 as default and it should boot in 30 seconds. Now go to bootloader setup and make sure install the Windows Vista 7 bootloader to the MBR. Click Write MBR. One more time. Then edit boot menu, click Save Settings. I forgot to do that. Click Save Settings as well. Yeah, it's still saving. Okay, we're saying save successfully. Let me just do this one more time. Okay, and once you are done, how do you know if it works? Let's restart the computer. So let me just turn it on right now. Now let's check. Don't worry, this happens at times. It just hangs up for a bit. There we go, Microsoft Windows 7 and Microsoft Windows XP. I don't know why it's stuck at Microsoft, but don't worry, it works. Microsoft Windows 7, Microsoft Windows XP. Let me go to Windows XP. Yeah, that happens for me all the time. I boot into Windows XP, crashes, and then I have to do it again. There we go, it boots up. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe for more. So let's check if it logs in properly. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe for more. Stay subscribed to for my next video, how to install or dual boot Ubuntu Netbook edition on your Windows 7 Netbook, and how to restore the bootloader as well. So stay subscribed for that, and that's about it. So thanks for watching and have a great day.